You know, I still remember that day like it was yesterday at community hall in Willow Creek, bursting into laughter when old Mr. Tom Reynolds, the iron-fisted HOA president, called out Emily Carter's name during the monthly meeting, like she was some kid who'd wandered in by mistake. She was new to the neighborhood, this quiet woman in her early 30s with that fresh-faced look that screamed outsider. And folks figured she was just there to complain about some petty fence rule. But oh man, they had no idea what was coming. Emily didn't crack a smile, just stood there calm as a summer lake, while the room chuckled at Reynolds' snide remark. Looks like we're hearing from the babysitter brigade now. And that set the tone for a showdown nobody saw brewing. See, Willow Creek was this tight-knit suburb where tradition ruled like a king, big houses, manicured lawns, and Reynolds lording over it all with his by-the-book enforcement, born from years of bitterness after his wife left him, blaming the chaos of modern neighbors for tearing his family apart. He saw Emily as a threat right away, this single woman who'd bought the old corner lot, and started questioning the HOA fees that funded his pet projects, like that overpriced community pool nobody used. His jabs came fast and sharp, laced with that fake concern, "Darlin', you sure you understand the covenants? Wouldn't want you wasting our time." And the crowd ate it up, exchanging smirks, because who was she to challenge the man who'd kept this place safe for 2 decades? But Emily? She just absorbed it, hands folded, eyes steady, like she'd faced worse storms. Though if you looked close, there was this flicker in her gaze, a storm brewing behind the calm, and on her wrist, peeking from her sleeve, a faded tattoo of map coordinates that nobody bothered to question. Deep down, Emily carried scars from a life folks couldn't imagine, raised in rural Idaho by a grandfather who'd fought in Vietnam and passed her his old leather-bound journal full of survival stories, teaching her that real strength wasn't in yelling, but in holding steady when the world tried to knock you down. She'd enlisted young, served in shadowy ops that left her file redacted, years marked confidential. But after a mission gone south, she'd vanished into civilian life, hoping to start fresh in Willow Creek. Yet Reynolds kept pushing, his ego bruised by her quiet defiance. Maybe it reminded him of his daughter Sophie, who'd cut ties 2 years back, fed up with his controlling ways. One family barbecue turned tense when Sophie showed up unexpectedly, crossing the lawn with that mix of hope and hurt. "Dad, I've been watching you bully that new woman from across the street." It's the same anger that drove Mom away, and Reynolds snapped back, jaw tight. "This is about protecting our community, Soph. You wouldn't get it," words that hung heavy, while from her porch, Emily watched, recognizing the pain, knowing cruelty often hid deeper wounds. Things escalated during that brutal neighborhood cleanup drill Reynolds orchestrated, supposedly to test commitment, but really to break Emily, assigning her the toughest spots with faulty tools and a team rigged to fail, whispering to his cronies, "Let's see if the princess can handle real work." As the exercise turned chaotic, a sudden storm flooding basements, turning yards into mudslides, Reynolds' sabotage backfired, his modified drainage plans failing spectacularly, trapping folks in rising water with no escape. Panic hit, screams echoing, and Reynolds froze on the high ground, face paling as he realized he'd gone too far, his power crumbling in the torrent. That's when Emily snapped into action like a switch flipped, her movements precise, instinctive, barking orders with an authority that silenced the chaos. "Everyone, link arms, follow the ridge line. I've got the weak spots mapped," pulling people from the muck, using her grandfather's journal as a makeshift guide, its pages holding not just stories, but encrypted notes from her past ops on flood zones. She hauled the last kid to safety just as black vans rolled up, government types cordoning the area in. There was Mr. Henry Lawson, the reclusive vet next door with top-level clearances from his CIA days, who'd been watching Emily all along, piecing together her legend as a shadow fox, the operative presumed dead after saving a team in a classified flood rescue overseas. Lawson stepped forward in the aftermath, voice gravelly with regret. "Emily, your shadow fox. I was your handler back then, pulling strings to get you here safe, but I failed to stop this mess." The revelation hit Reynolds like a gut punch. He'd tormented a hero whose ops had saved thousands, all while preaching community standards. The neighborhood shifted overnight, respect replacing mockery. Emily's tattoo, now a badge of honor, coordinates to a lost mission site. But Emily didn't gloat. Instead, she turned it into change, proposing HOA reforms to end the bullying. Mentoring newcomers with her quiet wisdom. I've fought floods before. Now let's build something that lasts. And Reynolds, humbled, confessed in a raw porch talk. I became the tyrant I hated, masking my fears with rules, sparking his reconciliation with Sophie through counseling. Yet as Emily hung her journal on the community board, revealing photos of her fallen comrades inside, Lawson dropped the bomb. Your mission wasn't a failure. It prevented disasters that would have wiped out cities, lifting her guilt, reframing her survival as triumph. Willow Creek changed strength now about lifting each other, not control. But here's the twist that still nags at me. Was forgiving Reynolds too easy, letting a bully off with redemption, or does real justice mean giving second chances, even when they've caused real harm? What do you think? Have you faced a neighborhood tyrant, or been the one who misjudged? Drop a comment below, share your story. Let's unpack this together, because communities thrive on these tough talks.